is the apprehension
Lord,
that the government
trust
has?
vote is not against Shiv Sena. Trust vote is against the government, against the chief minister. Correct. Say we don't wish to support this government, meaning need to submit the report to the president. Lord, here I am being asked by the person who did not choose to face the vote. I'll just
Change in the
answer
chief
that question. Well, kindly come to page 21. PDF page 21. This is signed by 41 MLAs. Well, the difficulty is, my lord, we are trying to examine and analyze the justification given by 34 or 39, whether it could have been a justification for floor test. For governor, he has to only examine that, but for this 39, the government would fall. I would rather go for the floor test.
In which case, he is now saying, assuming. No, but you're right. You're absolutely right. You're spot on. There's no difficulty about it at all. Therefore, what the governor is saying is, but for these 39, as you rightly say, the government will fall. Can he look into the fact that but for these 39, the government will fall when exclusion of these 39 is postulated on the speaker passing an order for their disqualification under the 10th schedule. Until that order is passed, he cannot presume that they are going to be.
He is not.
It's a preemptory move.
Lord, I think we are.
Exactly.
We are not parting company.
My lords are saying the same. My lords.
They say that we continue to be in the Shiv Sena.
Correct, my lord. But still, we don't
They
support the
continue to
government.
be in the Shiv Sena. Then how do you call for a trust vote?
Or what is the apprehension
Lord,
that the government
trust
has?
vote is not against Shiv Sena. Trust vote is against the government, against the chief minister. Correct. Lord, suppose what happens if the leader loses the confidence while members remain. Correct. Lord, now kindly see, my lord, kindly see the flip side of this. Flip side is this. Lord, today there is a government of Shiv Sena and BJP. Now your lordship's, my lord, prima facie view is that merely because some people go and say that we don't trust this government, governor should not do anything, not that cannot do anything. Your lordship's prima facie view is, this is debate, my lord. I hope this is not the conclusion. Your lordships are only
In a dialogue.
Yes, it's a dialogue. Now, suppose today BJP has what, 106 members. Lord, 100 members were to say that we have lost faith in the leader. Even our chief minister, kindly allow.
Right.
Kindly allow me to.
So 106 say we have lost faith in Fadnavis. Okay.
Kindly
He was a
allow
leader.
me to.
For a moment, postulate it. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. Exactly. You're absolutely on spot on.
Kindly see, my lord. Would your lordships consider giving governor the power to wait for the floor test and ensure that there is some management where the majority is created? That's the flip side of it.
Mr. Solicitor, you can never allow the governor to ask for a trust vote when there is absolutely nothing to shake the majority on the floor of the House. What is the trust vote for? Do you have the numbers in the House? The trust vote is not for determining who is going to be your leader in the House. No. The trust vote, what is the purpose of the trust vote? In a House of 288, do you have 144? That's the purpose. And if there is nothing to indicate that 144 is disturbed, who will lead those 144 is alien to the governor. It may not have been Uddhav Thackeray. They could have elected somebody else. The INC, NCP, and the Sena would have said, "Oh, they're electing somebody else."
Would your lordships come to page 21? There is a direct.
But that is a matter of internal party discipline. You see, that can never be a matter for the governor. Governor's trust vote is where the majority in the House is shaken. And where was there anything to indicate that this...
Page 21. Page 21.
Yes.
Yes.
Page 21.
Page 21.
Yeah.
This is 47 MLAs writing to the governor on 25th of June, para 2.
25th of?
As is common knowledge, we no longer wanted to be a part of the corrupt MVA government. However, we were being continuously threatened to continue supporting the incumbent government without our free will. Thus, left with no option, we were constrained to flee away, so and so. However, as yet another attempt to break out our resolve and arm twist us to give into the demands of MVA government comprising NCP and INC goons, security which was earlier provided, etc., etc. They say, we don't wish to support this government, meaning...
No, Mr. Mehta, if you will look at para 11, that's the conclusion. We demand security. That's all. They don't say we are parting company. Where do they say that? They say, please give us adequate security as also our family because it's been
The
withdrawn.
governor is not, my lord, a court where this prayer was not couched in this manner. He has to, based upon the material before him, arrive.
Mr. Mehta, what is being pointed out? What is being pointed out is this communication cannot be said to be withdrawing the support to Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. This is that what happened earlier, what happened that.
What it says, it may say that give us protection, but they say we no longer want to be a part of this corrupt government. Meaning thereby 47 people are minus now from the magical mark.
What is being pointed out, then thereafter they don't say further that henceforth, correct, we are not supporting this.
If it is a petition, there is no prayer.
For the subjective satisfaction.
Once again, as is common knowledge, we no longer wanted to be a part of corrupt MVA government. However, we are being continuously threatened to continue supporting the incumbent government without our free will, thus left with no option, etc., etc., my lord. And this is signed by 47 members of the Legislative Assembly, not just Shiv Sena MLAs, but independents, and 2 members of Prahar Jan Shakti Party saying we are withdrawing support from the government. And oh my, this is, my lord, in my respectful submission, the material as
Para 2 mein first sentence.
my apologies. My lord, page 21 of my apologies.
Only it is common knowledge that we no longer
Lord, govern
wanted to be part.
No, it's past and continuous also. That we have already declared that we don't want to support, but now we are being pressurized to support. That's what. Lord, kindly see, and I'll show Lord para 393 Bomai. Lord, from whatever material he comes to a prima facie conclusion that there needs to be a floor test, Lord, he would be under an obligation. We don't want to support this government and therefore give us security because we are being threatened. Second, Lord, what is the fact situation before the governor? And I'll read only one para from Bomai. One set of MLAs, namely 47, saying that we want to withdraw support from the government. One set of MLAs, my lord, or the leaders of the party saying that we will see when you come on the floor of the house. In my respectful submission, I'm posing a question to myself. Would the governor not be justified in forming an opinion that the government has lost confidence? I'm not saying anything. I'm not preempting anything. As Mr. Sorabji, my lord, narrated several possibilities, I'm only asking for the floor test. Maybe they might change their view. Maybe they might sacrifice themselves. Maybe they stand disqualified. Maybe they are persuaded. Maybe the leadership changes. There are several possibilities. The governor, my lord, in my respectful submission, my lord, will have no jurisdiction once he has a material. And what can be the material? Apropos her ladyship's question, my lord, page 393, para 393 of SR Bomai, my lords. It need not be a later also. My lord, suppose in a given set of circumstances, it's in public media, everywhere, which cannot be disputed. All channels are showing something. Lord, I'm posing a question to myself, Lord, can the governor not examine those facts also? But ultimately, he is not just, my lord, when a 174, 175 situation arises, he is not supposed to be a mute spectator. He will have to act. His action would be subject to judicial review within, my lord, the parameters which your lordships have fixed, my lord, for my lord's, my lord, future assistance. But please see, my lord, 393, which is at, my lord, volume, judgment compilation, volume 2, call upon the chief minister to establish that he enjoyed the confidence of the house. Not only did he not do it, but when the Council of Ministers offered to do the same, he demurred and chose instead to submit the report to the President. Lord, here I am being asked by the person who did not choose to face the vote of no confidence, that why did you call for the vote of confidence? Why did you call for the floor test? The converse situation and more drastic, my lord, in terms of the facts. In the circumstances, it cannot be said that the governor's report contained or was based upon relevant material. There could be no question of the governor making an assessment of his own. The loss of confidence of the House was an objective fact which could have been demonstrated one way or the other on the floor of the House. In our opinion, wherever a doubt arises whether the Council of Ministers has lost the confidence of the House, the only way of testing it is on the floor of the House, except in an extraordinary situation where, because of all pervasive violence, the governor comes to the conclusion and records the same in his report that for the reasons mentioned by him, a free vote is not possible in the House. So, my lord, it's not his right, it's his obligation. Now, my lord, kindly come to, my lord, and, my lord, the threshold in my respectful submission is that some material which creates a doubt in his mind. And, my lord, I would, my lord, at the cost of repetition and with profound respect, my lord, please, this is a constitutional submission. Don't, my lord, misunderstand the submission. My lord, the threshold of your lordship's judicial review, which I am not disputing, would be whether there was any material, whether based upon that material, your lordships may perhaps would have taken a different view, may not be a test. Now, your lordships, my lord, kindly come to Shivraj Singh Chauhan, my lord, is not based on extraneous considerations. So, my lord, when there are extraneous considerations, your lordships would step in and exercise the power of judicial review, and extraneous would mean completely irrelevant and not germane to the issue. Issue, namely, whether the governor would be justified in forming an opinion or entertaining a doubt about the government having lost the majority support.